Yep. Good morning. It's 9:30, and I'd like to call the Tuesday, October 8th, regular meeting of Athabasca County Council to order. We acknowledge that Athabasca County is located on First Nations Treaty 6 and Treaty 8 traditional territory. We respect and honor all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people's connection to these lands, their history, language, and culture. The first item of business is the approval of the agenda. The items that must be discussed that I'm aware of are as follows: 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 8.2, 10 point, nope, and item number 12.2. I'd like to add 12.3, which is 16.1, business interest of a third party. That's follow up from 4.3, and delete 12.1. So under 12, it's delete 12.1 and add 12.3, which is section 16.1, business interest of a third party. Are there additional items that you would like to take off the consent agenda? Seeing none, Councilor Mittens.
Let's look at 10.1 J
10.1 J.
and I'm thinking 7.1.
And 7.1, please. I'll also add, I will add 10.1 X. I just don't have my notes with me, so it won't be as elaborative as it might be, but that's okay. We'll go from memory. Councillor Chamzik.
I'd like to add 8.1A as well, please.
8.1A. Okay. Any other items? So the items that I have on the list, sorry, Councillor Cromwell has sent his regrets. We have item number 2.1, obviously, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 7.1, 8.1A, 8.2, 10.1J, 10.1X, and delete 12.1. We're going to discuss 12.2 and 12.3, which is the addition under section 16.1, business interests of a third party. Councillor Gerlich, are you interested in making a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Councillor Gerlich has moved the council adopt the agenda as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none on the question of the adoption of that motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Count is 8-0, and the motion is adopted. Delegations are scheduled for 10. So the first item, 7.1 on page 38 of your agenda, Councillor Mittens, you'd like to make a motion?
I'll make the recommended motion. Council approves the Friends of the Athabasca Public Library Archives Society funding request for $1,500 for the Taste of the Athabasca event.
Do you want to, so Councillor Mittens has made a motion that council approve the Friends of Athabasca Public Library and Archive Society's funding requests of $1,500 for the Taste of Athabasca event. The floor is yours. Do you have other comments you'd like to add?
I was just wondering, like, I know this is a great event and everything like that, but on the sheet there on page 45, the town of Athabasca, there's only a grant for $500. We're being asked for $1,500. Is there like, is that all the town's going to give is 500? That's their max.
Sorry, do you want to put your mic on? Councillor Wallach, do you know something?
That's their grant funding policies, $500 max.
Oh, okay. So, and we don't have a max. Really, we don't have a max in our policy.
I think we just tentatively approved almost $20,000 last meeting for a different project.
Yeah, you mentioned. Okay, no, I was just bringing that up for discussion. Why the town is only maxing out at 500, but we're being asked for 1,500. So but it's a good cause.
Other comments or discussion?
Hold on.
Councillor Chamzik?
Yeah, no, I think it's an excellent program. It just promotes more arts and culture within our area. And I'm really excited to attend this year. That's all I have.
It seems to be a great community event that brings people together, and our support enables groups like the Lions and the Library Society to host that gathering of the community. So I support it as well. If there are no further comments and you're ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the Friends of the Athabasca Public Library and Archive Society's funding request for $1,500 to support the Taste of Athabasca event. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The count is 8-0. The motion is adopted. Councillor Chamzik, you had put 8.1 on the agenda. Do you want to?
Yeah, you betcha. For just this Friday is our turkey trot, just to remind everyone for the 8-kilometer walk that our community does in support of Terry Fox, but also starting up here, Grassland Egg Society has a group of volunteers. We're doing our soup for seniors starting October 18th at noon at the Grassland Hall, and it's open to Grassland, Atmore, Amber Valley, and Prospita seniors. It'll be running every third week for the winter months. The next one will be November 15th.
Is there anyone willing to make a motion to accept the community events calendars for information?
I can do that.
Councillor Chamzik has moved. We accept the community events calendars for information. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none on the question of the adoption of that motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The count is 8-0 and the motion is adopted. The meeting calendars are at number 8.2. Is there any changes or additions? Councillor Chamzik, I'll give the floor to you first and then we'll move around here.
I actually don't have any right now. Thank you.
Councillor Mittens? Councillor Holland?
Thank you. It would just be to request the option to change November 26th to the 28th for the MPC meeting, dependent, of course, on the workload.
CAO, does the administration have any advice on that, or would you rather wait till closer to the date?
On November 26th.
Yeah,
And what, again, what was the proposal, Mr.
to
Chair?
move it to the 28th.
I think it's a great idea. Can I just check and we'll report back at the next meeting?
Councillor Wallach?
On October 24th, Councillor Kaptank and I are attending the EDA Fall Ministry Dinner.
EDA Ministry Dinner. Councillor Anderson?
I don't have anything to add, but I would personally be opposed to moving the MPC meeting so far in advance. Just because if we do end up needing to book one more special meeting for budget, that would be a day that I would like to just keep on the calendar so that we have something available and could move it closer to time if need be.
I think the plan is to wait till closer to that date to let administration and the chair figure it out. Councillor Kapitanek?
I don't think I have anything to add. Sure.
Next time, please use your mic. Councillor, I see you, Councillor Chamzik. We'll go to Councillor Gerlich and then
I guess the only thing that
Councillor
I do
Chamzik.
have,
Councillor Gerlich has the floor.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess the only thing to report is we did have blue heron yesterday, so it's
Okay. Excellent. That's it. Councillor Chamzik, the floor returns to you.
I guess the only thing that I do have is October 30th is ASB chairs meeting in the city.
Counselor Holland.
Thank you. Just one more thing to add. October 9th, tomorrow is the memorandum of understanding signing for Athabasca Land Trail with all 5 municipalities.
Do you have a time for that?
It will be between 8, well, when you're available, 8:45 right through until the end of the day, until we get back from the trip, if we're doing a complete trip.
You're doing a trip to get them all done?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll, let's plan to do that as close to 8:45, 9 as we can
8:45 would be great. Thank you.
tomorrow. Just making a note so that I do show up. Anything else? Counselor Mins?
I was just gonna ask through the chair to Counselor Chamzik if any decision was made on the ASB meeting for October. Yeah,
I have, my apologies. I have not received anything back that I noticed this morning, and as soon as I check back, hopefully we will have a date soon that works for everyone.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No ASB meeting scheduled yet. It would be in order to receive a motion to adopt the calendars as amended. Councillor Mins has made the motion to adopt the calendars as amended. If there's any further discussion, now's the time. Seeing none, if you're ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the meeting calendars as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, count is 8 and 0, and the motion is adopted. Moving on to 10.1J, Councillor Mins, the floor is yours.
Athabasca Regional Waste Management Services Commission, we had a meeting yesterday morning. Well, actually, it was an all-day event. Went on a great road tour to the regional landfill. Looked at the new cell. I want to say hole, but a new cell that they made.
Which is also a hold.
And I think in the neighborhood of around $1.6 million was spent in that cell. And it looks great. There's of course some discussion with the contractor over the contract and everything like that, which is pretty well normal for any contracts to happen. And so we had a great tour there, and then the afternoon we came back here and had a meeting, and I know it was on everybody's minds here regarding the one transfers item 8, business arising from minutes, letter A, transfer sites cost savings plan. And that was more of an information item that was sent out for discussion, and we had a great discussion regarding it. That it went back to administration to come back with costs that is costing us through the commission for transportation of these white goods and mattresses and different ideas. So that was not accepted through the board. The cost saving analysis there, and it went back. So and to figure out where everybody gets treated fairly instead of one entity having to pay for other entities. So yeah, no, it was actually a very great discussion, and Athabasca County wasn't the only ones to stand up and say that doesn't work. So it was great to see our neighbors and not have our backs also. So what else was in there? There was payroll options discussed. Looks like we're gonna go to a private source for payroll. It's still the employees will be going with the Athabasca County benefits in that. So the new EPR is coming out starting in April, and there'll be some cost savings to the commission for that. Right now, it's just on curbside pickup, but there will be another I guess contract being sent out regarding transfer sites and depots. So, and that's based on, hopefully by the end of December, we'll have an idea on all three of them contracts. Other than that, financials look good. Just starting to discuss budgets, so we were going that way, and yeah. I don't know if Reeve Hall's got anything else to.
On the budget side, there's some expectation that it will be a late-ish submission because the EPR changes, the numbers that relate to that are coming in slowly and over time. So we're not likely to see that. I think like early December is kind of the hope for some of that. And for clarity, the motion around the cost saving thing was to direct administration to come back with a proposal on a balanced and equal approach across the region. So it was fairly specific, I think, to look at that. And as Councillor Minns has said, there was fairly unanimous support to revisit that the proposed model wasn't something that worked. And I think, you know, it's important to explore alternatives, but once you get into the mechanics of it, it was clear that it wasn't going to meet the needs of the commission. I'll share with council that I'm finding myself increasingly troubled by the level of participation of CAOs from other municipalities in commission meetings as if they're members. And I don't know what and how we deal with it, but there's a level of I question the appropriateness of that in some cases, and I want to bring it to your attention because I think that certainly in the past we've seen situations where people who are not members of the board have been in a closed session on a performance review or a wage discussion, or even participating from the gallery. I think is something we need to be more aware of. I appreciate deeply the professionalism of our own CAO in either only responding when directly asked by the board, or I think recognizing that it's not his board and not attending every meeting. But I just, with the CAO participating, it feels to me like some of our partners have more members at the table than they are allotted. Anyway.
The other thing is we're going to be going through a wage review for the employees of the commission and that too. So, you gotta say it louder. Yeah, we're gonna be going through a wage review for the, there was a motion made to employee wage and grid review. So we're gonna be doing that.
I think that's positive work of the board. There's a source within the Waste Commission group that compiles all that data, and it's important to, I think it's good work on the part of the board to keep that up to date and make sure the overall package for employees is being is reasonable and fair. Is that all?
Yeah, that's next meeting is December 9th, and hopefully we'll have some more information.
Thanks for that report. The 10.1X is the Northeast Alliance for Growth and Opportunity, and as it turns out, I had pre-planned this so well that I had put my notes in my binder. So I attended that meeting in the afternoon of October 3rd in Lamont. There's Minister Hussein, who's from the province related to immigration, is intending on hosting a workshop, or the ministry would be hosting a workshop on the rural renewal stream. And so one question I have for our table is there any interest in having county staff or councillors attend that? And so I guess just by, do we see any, we've rejected participating in that. We were in and then we were out. Councillor Chamzik?
Well, in my opinion, pretty much recalling some of the reasons why that we in the past have not done it. I would be in favor if administration feels that they have the time to be able to attend it never hurts to have that extra information.
So I'll just forward it on, and if anybody is interested, then you'll have the stats and the date and time, and if the CAO sees value in sending his own people, and they'll know that too. That hasn't come back yet. One of the other topics of discussion was AGLC and the need to this idea of the potential to equalize casino payments to charities across the province, and that's the responsibility of Minister Nally's portfolio. I had forwarded out via email the graph of kind of the annualized allotment per charity from each of the different zones. And it's very clear there's a wide and deep inequity and how that impacts rural charities. And I'm sure we would all agree that some of the urban casinos that reap the highest rewards are also benefiting from rural players spending their money at the casino. So that was one of the things that came up, was this idea that it may make sense to start looking at lobbying the government to reconsider a more equitable distribution. The other piece in there that's related but separate, and past the date for comments being open, but still there was an encouragement to send letters if you want, to AGLC related to the relocation of the Camrose Casino. It had been rejected a couple times in the past. They also, one of the discussion items talked about the health initiative, and so there's a health announcement on Thursday in Hinton, which I did not follow up on, so I can't tell you what that was. We talked about a 75-bed mental health recovery center slated for coming toward Métis Crossing, and Tim McPhee, on behalf of the group, had talked to the health minister at AB Muni's, and she was open to the discussion, and then basically asked the group to coordinate the kind of key issues that are happening in the region. And so through NAGO, there will be a survey come out, and it'll come to councils for us to kind of gather out of our region, and in partnership, we'll coordinate it with the town and village because of our region, the key issues and bumps we're seeing in the healthcare system. And, the short list that I kind of thought of, and we talked about while we're sitting there, there's, questions around ambulances and ambulance availability, mental health supports, the potential regionalization of PCN, which I don't know a lot about, but I understand is one of the discussion topics. So what are our capacities? What are our capabilities? And what are our concerns? There's the note I made from, I believe this was one of the MLAs that said there are big decisions being made about the regionalization of PCNs by the end of October. There's still the idea there is still to continue to seek a Northeast Health Zone. And because of the change right now, this is still the best opportunity to do that. We talked a little bit about alternate transportation and ambulances. So ambulances often are getting used to transport ambulatory patients, and they don't necessarily need the level of care that's available in an ambulance. And so are there other ways to more economically move people? The topic of rural crime came up. That was kind of an off-agenda item that came on at the end. And, some feeling from a couple of the leaders there that the Bail Reform Act is not working. And, one of the best ways to prevent reoccurrence of repeat offenders is to keep them in custody for a little bit longer than a few minutes. Minister Dreeshen also attended the meeting electronically around the Highway 28 work, and that, you'll know, is a lobby that's been key to that group and that we've been supportive of. And I think one of the things we should recognize about the NAGO group is their focus and coordination, and they're not all over the place. They're trying to keep pretty steady on a few key issues. So the engineering on passing lanes are starting soon. There's a plan for utility work in the spring out in that area. And so then they're going to, next spring is the time to start beginning to acquire land, to work on a twinning. And to quote the minister, this is a priority for the province. They're going to share a map on the passing lane locations as soon as it's available and a goal within the next month. And, you know, they ask kind of from the MLAs and that were there. And the minister, when he spoke, was to, if we see Treasury Board members, to remind them that Highway 28 is an important regional connector. And because money all flows through Treasury Board. The Treasury Board process is starting in October this year, which is earlier than normal as well. And then there's the draft stage of the resource map is out. There were some requests to change that. We all heard the minister speak about this at RMA in the past, where they want to be able to kind of map where the resources come from with on a province-wide map. I think Councillor Wallach probably saw the draft, and they're working on. There's some revisions requested on that. MLA Van Dyken was clear when he spoke that any advocacy that we do related to roads and bridges, we need to make sure we have that we address the safety component, because safety is certainly a big part of the department's mandate. And so if we're speaking to the Outback Bridge or any of those other things, we know there's a safety issue in there, but we need to make sure we put that we address that as part of our presentation. And that's all the pages that I have on that meeting. The nice thing about that group is they're very solution-based. They're not running to government officials with problems. They're going to them with solutions to problems. And I think it's a great way to do business. It's about 5 minutes to 10. It would be appropriate to take a motion to receive the reports for information, and then we'll take a 5-minute break before the delegation. Councillor Holland has moved. We receive the reports for information. Any further discussion? Seeing none on the question of the adoption of that motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The count is 8-0. The motion's adopted, and we will adjourn until 1 minute before 10. to reconvene the October 8th meeting of Athabasca County Council. As a reminder for council, we have not ordered lunch because we should be able to be out of here at a reasonable time today. We are at item number 4.1. We have a delegation from Mr. Ryan Park and Mr. Jay Lee of Grassland. Our normal practice is that we will do introductions. So welcome, Mr. Park and Mr. Lee. Thank you for coming and joining us. We'll do introductions around the table, and then the floor becomes yours, and you have the chance to talk. As a reminder about process, the delegation is a time for you to present information to us. Council then has the opportunity to ask questions around clarifying things you've said. And then later in the agenda, there's a potential for council to talk about it, or at a subsequent meeting for council to have a more thorough discussion. So on your right is our CAO, Mr. Bob Beck. We have recording secretary, Ms. Blair. We have communications coordinator, Mr. Schenkelberg, and then Councillor Mins, do you want to?
Good morning, Rob Mintz, Division 8, Baptiste Lake, Island Lake area.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you for being here. Tracy Holland, Division 5, which is east of Athabasca, Amber Valley, Paxson, Parkview, and many subdivisions.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning, Camille Wallach, Division 9, north of the river.
Brian Hall, as you know, elected in Division 4, and on the screen, Councillor Kelly Chamzik is there joining us remotely. Councillor Cromwell sends his regrets.
Good morning, Ashton Anderson. I reside in Division 3, which is the Boyle Castle area.
Good morning, Joe Gerlach from the Rochester Fairville area, Division 1.
Again, thank you. The floor is yours.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Jay Lee, and this gentleman is Mr. Park from. We are from Grassland. We operate the business at the Grassland, Grassland Lamada, Petro Canada, and Eldorado Restaurant. So I'm here to bring up some concerns about our utility bill, especially water bill at the Grassland area. We are currently paying about $9 or cubic meter. And it seems like it's like really high. Like I did some research and I did research for the other Alberta municipals, and we are the most expensive. We are having most expensive water bills right now, and yeah, apparently somewhere like even in Edmonton is paying around $1 for cubic meter. Yeah, so I just want to let you know, and I just want to see if there's anything could be done to help the businesses out and even the communities out.
Yeah, so it's we check them out for the research for the all the other municipal government water bills. So our count is the most higher bill than any other municipal governments. So I don't know why is it that high. Maybe bad management or something, or so good quality waters, or our government is like managing for the like mafia somethings. I totally don't understand for why is it for increase for 20 or 30%, it's okay, but 100%, who else agree for the 100% to increase? It's my bill is for compared to 2022 or 2021, it's 400% increase. So I pay for now is for $13,000. Some months is $14,000, higher than mortgages, something. So, maybe meter is something wrong, or usually for daily per person for the figure it out for about 300 liter between 400 liter using per days. But last month is that our hotel is that we sold for 2,000 rooms. But so 2,000 room times for 400, then it's like meter is way higher than average figured out. So maybe meter reading system is something wrong, or we check them out every rooms and every toilets and all the water using area not leaking at all, but that water that consumption is way too high. And then hotels that we pay for about 13,000, 14,000 months. And then truck stop is the same things, about 13,000, 14,000 months. Used to be, we pay for 2,500 between 3,500, but it's sky high some things. So then somewhere something problems, maybe our problem or water management is it something wrong? We don't know. We keep checking out, but bill is still higher than any other counties. Maybe somebody explain something why is compared to any other counties, our county water bill is why is it double than any other municipal governments?
So it's, I'm sorry, Mr. Parker, it's not a question and answer from council. We're just here to listen to the information and then discuss it later. So if you're
Yeah,
looking
when
for an answer to that question, it won't be happening right
yeah, when is that you guys figured it out for increasing the new water bills? So then you can using for the some kind of data for we can increase for this much because chemical is so expensive, labor is so expensive, power is so expensive, or we have to hire the high quality technician something for the water the treatment. So maybe something is too much expensive. That's why that for cubic meter for $5 something up to $11. So maybe some kind of gangsters involved for the discounted. That's why it's this much that the increases. I totally don't understand for why that the power bill or gas bill is usually 15%, 20% increase. When we buying and selling, our margin is for 25% between 40% maximums. That maximum we can put it in the 40% margins. This water bill is $5 between to increasing for $11. What kind of data is using for this much increase some things? Anyone explain something?
Again, Mr. Park, the delegations are about presenting information to council. It's not a question and answer and response period. So council will discuss your concerns at at a future meeting, I believe is the plan. Once we've had the benefit of some advice from administration as well. But certainly we've heard your concern about the changes in water rates and are you willing to share the research that you've done on competing municipalities with the
Yeah,
administrative?
we have I can print out for the each page is I can get the two of them.
One copy is plenty because the administration will provide it to us at a later time. And now I'm not sure if you have more to present or if it's okay now for council to ask some questions of clarification.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I mean, I'll just because we're talking about that data, when you compared rates, did you also compare tax rates across those municipalities as well? How the municipal tax non-residential rate compared?
No, that wasn't done.
Now we probably have some questions at the table. Counselor Holland, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you're saying here today, and I really appreciate you bringing it forward to us. It is no secret, we changed how we did the calculations. We went from a subsidy across the county to user pay, and that really changed the rate. So that is the reason I think that you were looking for. And it is being discussed, and further on in the agenda, which wasn't part of our discussion today, as this has gone to administration to come back with more information. So it is being looked into, and I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. It is a concern not only for yourself, but for others as well. So it's really great that you've
Do you have
come
questions?
forward to bring that forward. I guess my question, more than anything, is how many municipalities that you looked at and which areas? Like how far out of the range?
So we have very much more than central Alberta to northern Alberta, so it's a big area.
So I got the information from one of the university research. So which was basically done around the March of 2024. And obviously this one doesn't include the grassland, but it also includes town of Athabasca and town of Boyle.
Okay.
So, and apparently we are the top. We are the one having the most expensive rate across the Alberta. So I believe it has almost 100 different municipalities around the Alberta.
Okay. And just to follow up, thank
Yeah,
you very
sure,
much
pleasure.
for doing that and for bringing that forward. Is it possible that all council members are able to receive a copy?
Yeah,
Oh,
the request is to give it to administration.
Oh,
to
thank
come
you.
up.
I appreciate your help,
Yeah.
and thank you again for coming forward with this today.
Okay.
Further questions from council of clarification? So again, as we've mentioned, this administration will take the information you've provided, and council will see this again on a future agenda, and council will have a better, a longer discussion among council about your concerns and about water rates generally.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the trip and for taking the time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you very much for
And I
inviting.
apologize, I neglected to introduce Councillor Capitanic because she wasn't sitting there when we went around the room, but Councillor Capitanic is also here. Again, appreciate you being here and thank you for
Thank you.
the service you provide in Grassland.
You want to hear? Yeah. If you need one more, I can.
Looking at what's coming up, it would be in order to take motion to enter closed session. Councillor Wallach has made a motion to enter closed session. On the adoption of that motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Count is 8-0 and the motion is adopted.